Good morning, Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome, family, to this morning sacred Sunday service. If you are new today, please remember that this service will be recorded and used on social media. We post to YouTube, to Facebook, and Instagram, and so you are welcome to turn off your video or change your name if you'd rather be anonymous. But the fellowship afterwards is not recorded, and we encourage you to stay with us and visit in fellowship. Just a little exciting news that I want to share with you this morning. Next Sunday is a very special Sunday. We're going to present live on Zoom our featured musicians, True Wind Music. Bev and Greg have invited us to share our service from their living room. So I will be there running Zoom from their living room, and we'll be able to enjoy their music live. So please join us next Sunday on Zoom on October 10th and enjoy True Wind Music, our featured musicians. And speaking of our webpage, please make sure you keep track of all of the events and all of the classes and services that we have available on our website. And thank you to all of you who are following us on YouTube and listening to our services. Thank you for your continued support and your donations so that we can keep doing this and sharing this with everyone on YouTube. And remember that there are two ways to donate and to help us with this this virtual that we're doing. And if you need any help setting it up, please let me know. I'd be glad to help you. And now I'd like to welcome our senior minister, Reverend Sharon Dunn, who will bring us into this beautiful morning together.
Good morning. Well done. That was awesome. As always, Ruth. Let's appreciate Ruth for a minute here. Today is, I must say, I am full-hearted this morning, full in my heart, and very excited about today's message and music. You know, I want to say I love you all so much. And I know that may sound like, what? Why are we diving that deep right now? It's a new month. It's a new theme. It's a new season. And it's extraordinary. It's exciting. And our theme for the month is going further together. Are you getting the gist of what I'm saying right now? I have been for a week looking at us together as a community. And of course, looking at something, giving attention to something brings it into form in the most extraordinary and awesome ways, right? And so I look at, like, we are together. We are a community. What does that mean? And so I'm excited to know that in October, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at us as a family, as a community, and we're going to dive deep into, like, so why are we? What do we need this? Like, what's the deal here? Why are we doing this? Why do we want other people to come and join us? Why do we do what we do as human beings? So this idea of going further together is absolutely amazing, and it kind of chokes me up. You know me, I'm always a wear the heart on my sleeve kind of person. But so much has happened this week to shout it from the rooftops how we are one community. And I have permission to share some of this. So Cookie not lost, there's nothing lost in God. Cookie Cookie and Ruth came upon Bruce, Cookie's brother, who had made his transition. They hadn't been able to reach him. And the first thing they did was to reach out to the community. I was so moved by the connection. And then it was, okay, go ahead and let people know so that more prayers can come and more prayers can come and more power can come and more of the presence can come. And then our beloved Debbie from the beginning of the week reaching out to us because there was a breakthrough of COVID, even from vaccine, in their family. This has been a big week. This has been a very big week. And what do? We reach out to each other, we grab each other, and we say, okay, I'm not alone. We're a tribe. We got you, you know? So that's where we're gonna be all month. But let's dial it down on the stuff, okay? Let's dial it down on that kind of experience, and let's see what else we can do together to be extraordinary in the world. I'm gonna claim that. Know that with me. Well, raise your hand if you're knowing that with me, that we're gonna be extraordinary. And so we have 2 new books, book of the month. We have 2 new books. And interesting enough, if you will laugh with me at the serendipity, Living Without Fear, Ernest Holmes. Living Without Fear, Ernest Holmes. Because why do we need each other? Because we are wired to survive. And fear is one way that we are alerted, right? That there is something amiss that may be threatening. And there's nothing better than a community to reach out to help us with that. The other book by Susan Taylor is all about love. And again, this book is about being in the spirit and living fearlessly. Okay, so here's our theme and here's our month. And what happens in the fall is going to be extraordinary. The changes we're all going to go through, I guarantee you by the end of this season, and certainly by the end of this month, we will not be the same once again. Are you with me? Let's get started. And as I ring this bell, our practitioner of truth, our practitioner of the day, our board member, our sister who knows how to pray, who knows how to anchor this community, who is the healing arm of our center, of our community. Margie's going to be taking us into prayer. And so be it.
And now, in this sacred moment, there's a power so strong and big and beyond us and with us and in us, that this power is love. And it brings our community together, this divine community that we hold with each other. And this community spreads this love around the world. For we are the love of the one mind, together expressing. And as I know this truth about us, I bless our service today and everything that takes us into this feeling of togetherness and community and love. And I know that Reverend Sharon's message will give us that. And so it is. And now for our readings. Love is the only final security in the universe. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe and the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. Ernest Holmes. Love really is the fulfillment of the law of good. Love alone can heal the world and enable people to live together in unity and peace. Ernest Holmes. A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. And Brene Brown, and so it is. Enjoy our music and meditation. Thank you.
I saw darkness all around me till I looked into the light, and the light was there to guide me as I stepped out in the night. I was once afraid of dying, and it kept me from my life until I heard the voices crying, cutting through fear like a knife, singing, welcome home, home to the heart of love. You're not alone, and your light is shown when you're home in the heart of love.
Breathing deeply, slowly. Inhaling, exhaling. I am breathing the love of spirit. I allow this love to fill every cell, every muscle, every tissue, every fiber of my being. This love is my life. It is always with me, always in me, as me. In this moment, I relax into the love of spirit. I invite spirit to deepen my awareness of myself as love. As I deepen this awareness, I easily experience greater love in every area of my life. I feel more love for myself. I feel more love for others. I feel more love in places that I previously deemed unlovable. I am a love machine. It feels so good to love. The more I love, the more I want to love. The more I love, the more I become a place of love in the world. I bask in this love now as I allow the music to lead me into a space of contemplation.
Well, that is a perfect choice for us this morning. And who makes the choices? Ruth does. And who makes the choices for Ruth? God does. So we're going to thank them both. We're going to thank the one. So again, good morning, good morning. I am Reverend Sharon Dunn, the senior minister here at the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, bringing the message this morning, and the topic is the divine community. And I have what? Another topic, a subtopic, whatever you want to call it. I changed the topic, however you want to refer to it. The topic is, why do we need each other? So we're gonna get into that. Dr. Martin Luther King spoke of the beloved community. You'll know that. He spoke about the beloved community a lot. And he speaks to a world in which all people share the wealth of the earth, and violations of human decency are not tolerated. We see the future in our current station as an embodiment of this realization for all. And doesn't that match our Declaration of Principles, which is the ultimate goal of life, to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all? Doesn't that match? So the context for today is that we work in harmony, and this is Centers for Spiritual Living. We work in harmony with one another, other faiths, and other people to envision a continually expanding world. And we say a world that works for everyone. So the three things I'm going to talk about today are, why do I need you? Why do you need me? And why do we need each other? Yeah. So why do I need you? And we had a nice quote by Brene Brown about belonging. What you didn't hear in that quote, the quote you heard was, a deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people. We are biologically, and this was a fun word for Margie, and it's a fun word for me, cognitively, I have to say it slow, I can't say it fast. Cognitively works well. Cognitive, no, doesn't. So that's good. But anyway, that physically and spiritually, we are wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. But what you didn't hear was, she goes on to say, when those needs are not met, we don't function as we're meant to. We break. We fall apart. We numb. We ache, we hurt others, we get sick. How about that part? So to belong, for me, why do I need you? To me, existing as part of something is important to me. We're wired to survive as a group. We're not meant to survive as standalone. We're very vulnerable as human beings. So this idea of belonging then centers itself in the very beingness of who we are. Our purpose, if you will, and I always say this, I say, I have one purpose here in life, and that's to love. Well, you don't do that in asylum, right? You don't do that, you don't do that all by, well, I mean, we have to start with loving ourselves in order to love others. But then this speaks to loving others and loving and being lovable. So if we come to belong to this or that, not ascending to new heights, this idea of belonging, it's going to open us to that idea that one person cannot know what two people coming together can know. Have you had that experience? Every day, hour by hour? So why do you need me? And Debbie, Reverend Debbie, actually inspired me this week, so much so that I completely turned my talk into something else, which happens all the time. But she inspired me and gave me permission to share the question, why do you need a practitioner if we know how to do spiritual mind treatment? We're taught, we know spiritual mind treatment. As we become we have mastery in that. We become masters of spiritual mind treatment. Why do we need another person? Why do we need to see a practitioner? And remember this idea that we're born to connect and belong. Can you hold that during this short time we have together? So the reflection we offer to each other is how we grow and evolve. It's the reflection. And now remember, as I said, we're human. And in this teaching can get a little lofty, am I right? To the point where if we become human, we might experience some shame. Oh my God, I'm human. Remember the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is that I did that, and I'm sorry for that. Shame is that I am that thing I did. And so, when we're in fear and we're a spiritual leader, or we're seeing, we are all spiritual practitioners here as we study and go through foundations and self-mastery and all the things that we go through. Well, why in the world would then we not know how to physician heal thyself? You don't get out of being human. You know how they say you don't get out of this alive? Well, while we're here, we don't get out of this without fear. And fear is the absence of faith. Now, please don't go to that shame place. Because as spiritual community, come a unity, we can agree with each other that we all have permission to be human, yes? And I get afraid. And sometimes I need someone to tell me the truth, to remind me of the truth. And I'm not talking about the truth or as opinion. I'm talking about spiritual truth. I need someone to remind me and to know for me when I cannot know. These are easy answers. But what I liked is the deep dive into the nature of who we are. In nature says we must connect with one another. We must belong in order to be healthy, vibrant, and expansive. We can be the same every day, right? We can. And you might want to look kind of at some models of the old days when, people were isolated, way in the boonies and these farms and where we've come when we come into a bigger environment with more people. What in the world have we discovered? Now we have the internet. We can know in 2 shakes what's going on everywhere. Everywhere. We have satellites that we can point to a baseball in China flying through the air and be able to read the label on the baseball and count the stitches. That's why we see a practitioner. And something incredible happens when we do. We discover that what we know in the one mind collapses into my mind. I'm not saying that it wasn't there to begin with, because the one mind is my mind, but there's a big difference between the infinite mind and what gets downloaded into this finite mind. In fact, the object of the game of being here all together is to see how much of that mind we can download. Yes? Are you with me? So we need others to reflect us back to ourselves. Isn't that wonderful? So that we can see how we may be abandoning ourselves rather than loving ourselves. Now, again, keep shame out of this conversation. We abandon ourselves when we're in fear. Let's just admit that together as a clan, as a tribe. This is normal. This is human behavior. We do. But when someone that is in our community comes up to us and reminds us and brings us back to ourselves, we get to love again. We get to have that faith again. And what happens with that is then we get to be in service. Do you understand that? We get to be in service to the world, because then we put more love into the world. And then we become so strong that we can do things like Anne was doing when if you look at our Facebook page, she's holding up this amazing message that we gathered all of these beautiful gifts for the children in the receiving home. We cannot do that in a vacuum. We cannot do that without each other. But it takes someone like Anne and Linda and the people here who have the willingness to be the student of their own spirituality, to be with people who are like mind. And I do have to say, we are like mind. Build that spiritual muscle that we can love ourselves so much that we can love other people. And that is phenomenal. Last, in order to live, we need to interact so we can stimulate our brains to function. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of what I found in my research, which was so darn exciting. I feel like I could do an 8-week class. But let me give you an example. According to the late John McCain, the worst part of the torture he endured in Vietnam was solitary confinement. It's an awful thing, solitary, he says. It crushes your spirit and weakens your resistance more effectively than any other form of mistreatment. Solitary confinement often brings on hallucinations, mood swings, and loss of impulse control, among other horrors. Now okay, so I took you to the mat with an extreme example. And so you can dial that back to just isolating. Have you ever felt like you've kind of isolated too much and you need to like do something that, you know, might mean that you have to connect with another human being or an animal or something? I am having the most extraordinary life right now. As some of you know, anyone who's on Facebook, and I post on Facebook hoping to inspire, I use social media to build my spiritual community. And so I'll reveal, I'll share my good. But many of you know I have found a beautiful person to be in relationship with, a man. But funny thing about this man, because I did a vision for my relationship, of course that showed up. I didn't realize how dangerous doing a vision for your relationship can be. In fact, I'm offering that to ministers, and they're like, how much do you charge for that? I said, nothing, because I want to pay it forward. But I have found someone who is bringing to the relationship something I've never had before. Terrifying. I love that meditation and the music by Melissa and Z, because it gave me shivers when you saw the person sitting there on the shore and watching the ocean and saying, you know, I'm just letting love in. You know, that looks all hippy dippy, skippy whippy, right? That is not an easy task. I am letting love in at such a pace and such an extreme that I finally recognized I've never been here before. You know that place that we could go as a community? That place. We've never been here before. We've never been this much in love. We've never lived our authentic life to the point where we can really grow and attract other people to us so that we can serve the Sacramento area and the world. I know we talk about it all the time, but do you see how in October, as we come into the fall season, as the harvest is happening, we can really pay attention to what it means to be a loving, spiritual community where we are welcoming. We are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission is that we inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science of mind. And our purpose is in joy and love. We connect in service to all life. I just got the God bumps. That's our vision, mission, and purpose. And I think every once in a while we should shout that from the heavens. What do you say? Okay. So last on that, we need to connect with others, but we can't connect with others when we are disconnected from ourselves. Why do we see a practitioner? To reconnect with ourselves. Why do you have a minister? To help her grow up. Grow up. So that she looks like that reflection that we all want. That she just opens her heart and shares everything because she's living her authentic life. And that's what we're all doing. And that's what we all aspire to do. So why do we need each other? Our vision from CSL is that we envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family. Now, as I read this, think of us, because we're the mini-me, right? We're the mini-me. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life, a world where the kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. Now, this interconnectedness is who we are by nature. We may as well just say we are wired to be together. So in divine community, which is our topic, we honor in one another the confidence and courage to release all that no longer supports our journey, our vision. We're on a journey to clear out everything unlike what this vision aspires to. Remember, the vision is never achieved. If you achieve a vision, you have to have a new one. But it's the banks of the river. It holds us in place for the direction we're going. In the space where I am me and you are you, there's a beautiful evolution that nudges us forward and pushes us beyond this moment into a new space of being, a more profound expression of the one loving source. You see, there's purpose. We're not just dilly-dallying here. When Reverend Patricia gathers you together for her, busy hands, warm hearts, you're not just knitting. You get that, right? What is she doing? She's knitting you together. That's her brilliance. That's who she is as a leader, as a leader of this community, as a partner of mine. She's not just crocheting. She's crocheting you together. You're not just doing a puzzle. You're putting all the pieces together. Home is where we belong. And when we are at the center of this communion of love, all of us are blessed and fulfilled. I hope we leave here today not complacent about what the hey we're doing. I truly believe, and I'm seeing it every moment as I try to breathe into this relationship I'm having, is that relationship is the fastest way to self. Yippee skippy. And divine community is about much more than one person entering a physical or digital space. We're not just coming to center or showing up in a box on Zoom. It's not merely a gathering of individuals coming together, which sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I walk around kind of mindlessly. Do you ever do that? Yeah, I'm going to church and then I'm going to go to breakfast and have those, biscuits and gravy. But I'll put in my time so I'll feel better about myself. No. We are coming here purposefully to wake up each other. Wake up. We get a message every week because it wakes us up. And then we all hear the same message and something percolates. Something percolates. So divine community is an almost alchemical reaction that happens among us that reminds us of who and what we are capable of being and becoming. How about knowing that when you come to center? Oh yeah, I'm not coming just to come get there so I can go to breakfast, but actually I'm going there because I am capable of being and becoming, and I have no idea what's going to happen to me today, but it's going to be incredible because, well, one cannot know what two or more coming together can know. And I'm going to hear some. Has anyone here heard anything today? Just one thing that is worth coming here? Anybody? Yeah, that's what we do today. So in summary, remember when Martin Luther King talks about the beloved community, beloved means dearly loved. Beloved community speaks to the deep affection for the many over the one. But it also points to the quality and depth of our shared connection. We're not just connected in this community. We're badass. Sorry. That's the word. I speak my word. The beloved community unfolds as a divine tapestry of truth, light, compassion. Compassion, right? This week, did we not feel that? Debbie, Cookie, holy cow. And the prayers I got to live. I felt so loved when they reached out to me. I was like, wow. Sometimes I wonder if I'm building something. Like, what am I doing here? Is it working? Has it taken yet? Has it rooted? And then I get a call like that. And it keeps me going and inspired and alive. So a beloved community of divine proportions such as ours, and listen to this, is to ever exist. If it is to ever exist, listen to this, we must be willing to give up our perfected individualism for the sake of a love that is made known as the communal we. I'm fine by myself. I got this. I don't need anything. Hey, if I can't fix it, I can live with it. No worries. When we are alone, we're not at home. When we are at home, we belong to one another enough. And wasn't that beautiful of Z and Melissa constantly singing into the chorus of Welcome Home? Wasn't that beautiful? So let this place, remember our community, we are a welcoming sanctuary community. Doesn't mean that we have to have a place, a physical building to be our sanctuary. This is our sanctuary. And let this place, this love that we declare to be the measure of our faith, doesn't that sound like a vow? That is capable of welcoming each other home. I love you all so much. Let us pray. And there is one home, one truth, one body of God, one love, one heart, one law, one life. One life. And that life is my life. It is the life of each one of us, and it is the life of the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, and it is a life of centers for spiritual living with a wide invitation, a wide interfaith invitation to welcome home all faiths, all walks of life, all colors, all nations of origin, all orientations. And in that power of knowing that oneness, we know that there's one mind, and that mind in physics is the instrument that we use to see that which we can become. And so my only prayer today, my only prayer is to become. We come home to all that we can be, individually and collectively. We come home to be that heart of God that wraps up Cookie and Ruth and Jim and Debbie and all who are connected to us and all that we can connect to in order to raise us up. You raise me up, Spirit. The Spirit that is within each one of us then. We are raised up in order to raise up one another, in order to be love for one another and for the world, for everything, for our planet, our climate. And as I say grace for every meal, I declare and claim, and I will to the end of my days, that there is enough and more than enough to feed all of us, and that we feed one another, that we house one another, that we clothe one another. That is the only reason we are here. And so I declare and claim a clear path from this to that. That this prayer inspires us further to know more of what is ours to do and what is ours to be in the world. And for each of us individually that have experienced the circumstance, the condition, the situation, the loss, the fear, the disappointment, whatever it is, we raise each other up. And to me, there is no greater prayer of thanksgiving. And I give that thanksgiving for this prayer answered. And I release my word into the most powerful law that ever was and always will be. As we say together and affirm, and so it is. Ashe, Shalom, Amen. Hallelujah.
I heard so much this morning that drew me to awareness of how much my heart is in this community and how much I want your heart with me in this community. So this is the time of the service where we offer you the opportunity to speak to the conviction in your heart that this is your community and you want to see it grow so that we can welcome everyone in Sacramento and open to the world. So we especially appreciate you folks who are watching us on YouTube, helping us spread this to the world, that we are a loving community. We are a sanctuary where you are loved and accepted. So please join us, support us. You can do it through online, through PayPal or Square. You can send us a check. We'll take it all and we will use it to expand our community because we do live from a conviction of a heart. Thank you. So let us now do our affirmation. Please join with me, but keep your mute on because it doesn't work well. We all try to do this on Zoom, but say with me, please. Abiding by the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding, infinite good. And so it is. Okay. We would love to have your prayer requests. We would love to pray with and for you. You can do this online through our website at sacscsl.com, or if you want to do a chat to Ruth, we can set up a private 5-minute tune-up, so to speak, during the hospitality time at the end of the service. But our practitioners are here for you. Our ministers are here for you. Okay, latest news. The Busy Hands, Warm Hearts, which I love that I don't knit, I do crochet. Crochet us together, I love that. It's the 2nd and 4th Mondays of the month, so bring your coffee and come on over. It's still warm enough for us to have this outside. I have beautiful patios now, and it's just glorious to have you guys here. And Connie periodically has said that she will bring her harp and play for us. And she did it last Monday, and it was so wonderful to hear her practicing in the background. And we were just chatting away, and she would talk about her music. And it was just a wonderful weaving together of hearts and minds. So come, join us. As Ruth said earlier, next Sunday is going to be a wonderful time to spend with Bev Barnett and Greg Newland, also known as True Wind Music. And they are fabulous in person, and we'll get as close as we can by being live in their living room. So please join us next Sunday during the service. And as always, you can find us on Meetup, Facebook, Instagram. We are all over social media. And again, thank you for those of you who watch us through YouTube. Please share us, give us to the world. That's why we're there. And now I will turn this back over to our practitioner of the day, Margie. There you go.
Thank you, Reverend Patricia. And please take this affirmation with you all week and say with a heartfelt feeling, I am a presence of divine love. Wherever I am, I am. And now for a benediction. And with gratitude, knowing that we are a divine community, crocheted together with love and harmony and peace. As we raise each other up, we raise the world up in this love of the divine presence, for we are all one. And we bless each other today as we move on to the week, knowing that all is well. And so it is. Thank you.
Keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. You got to keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open. Though the waves want to push around. Though the waves want to push me around. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open until my faith brings me back to solid ground. Until my faith brings me back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. Though the waves want to push me around, though the waves want to push me around, I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Till my faith